Dear participants, I welcome you all for online internship program on demystifying IoT security for digital world. Myself, MS Archana Saugule, Assistant Professor from Information Technology Department. My college name is Shah and Anchor Kachi Engineering College, Chembur, Mumbai 88. Today I am going to cover sensors and actuators topics. The what topics I am covering that I mentioned on the first slide. That is, I'm going to discuss about what is sensor, what are the different common example of the sensors, what are the classification of the sensors. Then we're going to discuss about what is actuators, what are different types of actuators. Then we will see some small projects based upon some sensors, and lastly we are going to see the small case study using actuators. To start with the today's first topic, that is sensor. What is a sensor? The sensor is an input device which provides an output signal with respect to the specific physical quantity. That means input. So it is an input device, okay, which give the output with respect to some inputs. One example of the sensor is LDR sensor. What does LDR stand for? Light dependent resistor. So it is a small device or it is a sensor whose resistance value varies according to the intensity of light. When the light is falling on the LDR sensor, it is more, the resistance values become very less. And when the light is falling on the LDR is very less, the resistance of LDR becomes very high. That means depending upon the intensity of the light, the value of the resistance will be vary. The intensity value of the light is more, the resistance value is definitely the less, and vice versa. Here I shown one image of the LDR sensor where we can see there is a A0 pin analog pins, D0 pin data pins, ground pins, VCC pin. Then we are having the LDR, that is a light dependent resistors whose value will be vary depending upon the intensity of the light. Then I show one picture where we can see the lot of the common example of the sensors. In this figure we can see that there are very commonly used sensors I mentioned here. Depending upon what value it sends, which is present around that sensor, which is present in the environment, we have the different example of the sensors. For example, LM35 is a temperature sensor. Then there is a, if it sends the colors, it's a color sensor. If it sends the gas, it's called the gas sensor. If it sends the alcohol, it is called the alcohol sensor. If it sends the smoke, which is present in the environment, it is called the smoke sensors. So these are the some common sensors which we can use to build up the IoT applications. Some of the few very popular example of the sensor we will see in the detail. The first, the most common sensor which we are using is a temperature sensor. So it is the most popular and most common temperature sensors we are using to sense the temperature which is present in the environment. So as the name suggests that definitely it measures the changes in the temperature which is present in the environment. There are actually two types of the temperature sensors. The first one is the analog sensor and second one is the digital sensors. So the analog sensor example is LM35 and the digital sensor example is the DS18B20. So LM35 temperature sensors IC as shown here. It is a very small IC which we can use it to sense the temperature which is present in the environment. So we know that the analog temperature sensors definitely it have the continuous value. Okay, so the values of this will be changed. Okay, which include the resistance value or the voltage value. So example of analog temperature sensor is LM35. Then when you go for the digital sensors, definitely it is a discrete value. That means it represents with the numbers. But how we convert this or how we get the digital value? After converting the analog value into digital value. The example of this is DS18B20. So this different type of the temperature sensors we can use in different areas. For example, we can use inside the computers, we can use inside the mobile phones, we can use for the different industries, we can use for the home appliances. Then when you go for the second example of the sensor is a proximity sensor. So it is a non-contact type sensor that detects the presence of an object. So proximity sensor can be implemented using different techniques which includes like the optical, which like the infrared or the laser, or maybe the sound, which includes ultrasonic. It may be the magnetic, there is a Hall effect, and capacitive, etc. So inductive proximity sensor is shown here. So some of the applications where we can use the proximity sensors are definitely your mobile phones. Then we can use these sensors for parking of the cars. We can use these sensors in some industries where to detect the objects or decide the alignment of the objects. Then we can use for the ground proximity in the aircraft. Then third example of the sensor is IR sensor. What does the IR stand for? Infrared sensor. So it is a sensor which are base sensor that is used in the various applications like the proximity and the object detection. The most commonly the IR sensors are used at the proximity center in almost all the mobile phones. So the IR sensor commonly used in all different types of the mobile phones. Again, there are two types of the infrared sensors, that is transmissive type and the reflective type. What is that transmissive type and reflective type? In the transmissive type, IR sensor, the IR transmitter, usually an IR LED, and the IR detector, usually the photodiode, are positioning the facing each other so that whenever an object passes between them, the sensor detects that object. And another type of the IR sensor is a reflective type of IR sensor. What will happen in this? In this, the transmitter and the detectors are positioned adjacent to each other, which are facing the object. So when the objects come in front of the sensor, the infrared light from the IR transmitted is reflected from the object and detected by IR receiver, and thus the sensor detect the objects. So depending upon how we keeping the IR sensors, okay, which include the transmitter and the receiver, we have the two types of the IR sensor, transmittive type and the reflective type. Then the next example of ultrasonic sensor. Now in the ultrasonic sensor is again the non-contact type of the device that can be used to measure the distance as well as the velocity of an object. So the ultrasonic sensor works based upon the properties of the sound waves with the frequency greater than that of the human audible range. So the ultrasonic sensor will look like this one. Using the time of flight of the sound wave, ultrasonic sensors can measure the distance of the objects, which is similar to the sonar. The droplet shift property of the sound wave is used to measure the velocity of an object. The next example of the sensor is a light sensor. Sometimes it is also known as the photosensor. Light sensor is one of the most important sensors. The simple light sensor available today is a light dependent resistor, that is LDR. What is the property of the LDR? Just now we saw its resistance is inversely proportional to the intensity of the light. So when the intensity of the light is increases, resistance decreases and the vice versa. So by using the LDR sensor, we can calibrate the changes in its resistance to measure the intensity of light. There are two other light sensors, that is a photo or photosensor, which can be used in the complex electronic system designing. They are photodiode and the phototransistors. All these are the analog type of the sensors. So example of digital light sensors are DH1750, TSL 2561 and etc., which calculate the intensity of light and provide digital equivalent value. So again the LDR sensor, there are two types, analog sensor and the digital sensor. The next example of the sensors which are using is the smoke and the gas sensor. So it is a very useful sensors in safety related to applications which are smoke and the gas sensors. Almost all the offices and the industries are equipped with the several smoke detectors which detect any type of the smoke due to the fire, and the sound it will be give the alarm. The gas sensors are more common in the laboratories. For the large scale kitchens and industries, they can detect the different gases which may be include the LPG, butane, methane or propane or etc. Means different types of the gases it can be detected which are present in the environment. Nowadays, the smoke sensors which can be detect smoke as well as gas are also installed in most of the homes as a safety measures. So for the safety measures, we can use the gas sensors, smoke sensors, okay, at the home or in the industries also. The MQ series of the sensors are the bunch of chip sensors for detecting the CO, CO2, CH4, alcohol, butane, LPG, etc. So you can use these sensors to build your own smoke sensor application. So whenever we want to build any IoT application where we want to detect the smoke or where we want to detect the gas, we can use this sensor. The next example of the sensor is the alcohol sensor. Definitely, as the name suggests, the alcohol sensor will definitely sense or detect the alcohol. So usually the alcohol sensors are used in breathalyzer devices to determine whether the person is drunk or not. So definitely for the safety measures where we needed whenever we are driving, if we want to check whether that driver is drunk or not, we can use the alcohol sensor to sense the alcohol. The next example of the sensor is a touch sensor. So we do not give much importance to touch sensors, but nowadays we know that the touch sensor is an integral part of our life now. Why? Because if maybe you know about that, whenever we are going for all the touch screen devices, which maybe include the mobile phones, tablets, laptops, etc., have the touch sensors in them. And another common application of touch sensor is trackpads in our laptops. So touch sensors, as the name suggests, it detects the touches of the fingers, right? Often touch sensors are classified into again resistive and the capacitive type. Almost all the modern touch sensors are of capacitive types as they are more accurate and better signal to noise ratio. So your touch sensor will look like this. Then next is the color sensor. So definitely the color sensor is useful devices in building the color sensing applications in the field of image processing, then in the color identification, then in the industry's object tracking or etc. The TCS3200 is a simple color sensor. This is a simple example of color sensor is TCS3200, which can detect any color and output a square wave proportional to the wavelength of the detected color. So this is a image. The color sensor will be look like this. The next sensor is humidity sensor. If you see the weather monitoring systems, they often provide the temperature as well as humidity data. So, measuring the humidity is an important task in many applications and humidity sensors help us to achieve this. So, often all humidity sensors measure the relatively humidity, that is the ratio. What is humidity means what? The ratio of the water content in air to maximum potential of air to hold water. Since relatively humidity is depending on the temperature of air, almost all the humidity sensors can also measure the temperature. So the humidity sensors measures the temperature as well as humidity because humidity is depending upon the air. So the humidity sensor will be look like this. Then again, the humidity sensors classified into capacitive type or resistive type and the thermal conductive type. DHT11 and DHT22 are two of the frequently used humidity sensors in DIY community. That is, the former is a resistive type, first one is a resistive type, and while the later is a capacitive type. Then the next is the tilt sensors, often used to detect the inclination or the orientation. So tilt sensors are one of the simplest and inexpensive sensors out now. Previously, tilt sensors are made up of mercury, so sometimes it is also called the mercury switches, but most modern tilt sensors now contain the roller ball. So these are some common examples we've seen for the sensors. Now, what is the classification of the sensors? So definitely the first classification is the active and the passive sensor. So what is active sensor? It requires external excitation signals or the power signals. So active sensors require some external power signals or excitation signals. Then what is the passive sensors? It don't require any external power signals and directly generate the output responses. So depending upon active sensors or the passive sensors we can use for different IoT applications. Then when you go for the next classification of the sensor is based on the detection used in the sensors. So what type it detects, depending upon that type we have the different type of the sensors classification. So some of the detections are the electric, maybe biological, maybe chemical, maybe radioactive or etc. Then third, this classification is based upon the conversion phenomena. That is, it is depending upon the input and the output. So some of the common conversion phenomena are photoelectric, thermoelectric, electrochemical or electromagnetics. Then the last classification of sensor is depending upon what type of the output is generated, whether analog or digital. So we can have the analog sensor and digital sensor. So what is the analog sensor? It produces the analog output, that is definitely the continuous output. And the second one is digital sensors, which work with the digital data or discrete value. So depending upon what type of output is generated, we have the analog sensors and digital sensors. Now we go for the actuators, the second important component of your IoT. So what is the actuator? It is a mechanical device for moving or controlling a mechanism or the system. Okay, so what is the actuator? It's a mechanical device for moving or controlling the mechanism or the system. So it takes the energy usually transported by air, electric current or the liquid and convert that into some kind of the motion. What will we take? It will take the energy and which is usually transported by the air, maybe electric current or the liquid, and then convert that into some kind of the motion. So it is a device used to transfer the motion from one object to another. It is called the actuator. So it activates a movement or the process. So actuator will be activate a movement or the process. What are different types of the actuators? First, we are going to see the rotary actuators. What is the rotary actuators? Produces a rotary motion. So what type of the motion is generated? Rotary motions. The most common example of rotary actuators are the stepper motors or the servo motors. So the electric rotary valve actuator controlling a butterfly valve. So it will be generate the rotary motions, okay, which is used in the stepper motors or the servo motors. Then the second type of the actuator is the linear actuators. What are linear actuators? It translates the rotary motion into linear motion. So it converts the rotary motion into the another type of motion, that is a linear motion. So it is called the linear actuator. Then next is the mechanical actuators. Now the principle of screw or the screw jack or the ball screw, the principle of the wheel or axle, chain drive or the belt drive. So when we are having the mechanical actuators is based upon the principle of the screw or the principle of the wheel and axle. Then the next classification we can say or the next type of the actuator is the hydraulic actuators. So it is equipped with the fail-safe features to permit the quick stop for emergency conditions. So we can see this type of the actuators we can use inside the lift. If there is any problem in the lift, if you want to stop emergency for the lift, we can use the hydraulic actuators. The next, the linear actuator types. Now in the linear actuator types, the first one is the cylinders or pneumatic actuators. It uses the compressed gas to provide the pressure instead of the liquid. So what is the cylinder or pneumatic actuators? It actually uses the compressor gas to provide the pressure, okay, instead of the liquid. And the last one is the piezoelectric actuators. What is piezoelectric effect? Is a property of certain material in which application of a voltage to the material causes it to expand. What is the meaning of piezoelectric actuators? Piezoelectric effect is a property of the certain material in which the application of voltage to the material causes it to expand, which may be needed inside your printer. Now, if you go for the automations in the car, so in the car, we can use a different type of the sensors. I shown some example where we can use a different type of sensors to do the automations in the car. For example, motor position sensor we can use. We can use a combo sensor, steering torque. We can use a steering sensors. We can use a wheel speed sensor. We can use a mirror sensors. We can use a accelerator pedal angle sensor. We can use the transmission sensors. We can use the headlight range sensor. So this we can control, okay, which will be sense the data which is available, okay, in around that sensors, and it will be control your car or control that part of your car, we can say. So here I given some small list of the projects which are based upon the few sensors. So we are going to see some one example of the sensor how we can use. For example, if you want to use the light sensors, we can use a light sensor using the LDR sensor. So when actually we want to make the connections, okay, we have to use the sensor, we have to use the LED, we have to use the breadboard and some connecting wires, and we are using the battery. So this is circuit diagram, okay, for this project where we want to detect the light using the LDR sensor. So what the components we require here? We need the LM358 ohm, that is the MPIC, small LDR. Then we need the 10 kilo ohm resistor, 10 kilo ohm potentiometer. Then we need the LED, maybe the white or any color you can use, 220 ohm resistor, connecting wires, and definitely the power supply. Minimum is 9-volt battery we needed. So where we use this, we can use this simple light detector circuit can be used in many applications like automatic switching of appliances up on detecting light, security system, etc. The circuit can be used in the alarm systems where increasing the intensity of light will trigger the alarm. Or it can be also used in the cupboards or the wardrobes. When the door is open, the light will be automatically turn on. So this is a LDR sensor applications, okay, for automation of turn off and turn on the light depending upon the intensity of your light. Now we will see some small case study of actuators. See, we know that the actuator is designed to move the object in linear motion, and due to this, the functionality it is being used for lifting or opening the doors, windows, and more recently the actuators we can use within the boats or yachts and other sea vessels. So what are the challenges for this? Where were approaches by our customers who needed an automated hatch cover design and developed for his boat, we first identified three major challenges: mounting the point, heavy lifting definitely, that's another emergency release. So for these purposes, we can give the after careful examination of our custom applications, we found the perfect unit, that is APA04HS with the push only option unit was able to resolve all these issues. So with Hall effect sensor, we were able to use two units in synchronous with each other. Then the feedback signal provided by the sensor allows the control system to monitor the position of both units continuously and calibrate the motion of each actuators to match the other. With this, our customer was able to mount actuators on each side of the engine hatch instead of in middle, which would obstruct the normal path into the engine compartment. So in the event of power loss or the lift failure, the hatch can be manually lifted without any damage to actuators as the actuator shaft is not attached to the screw nut. So what is the result of this? It reduces the effort to open and close the hatch cover, well protected engine, 18-month warranty in case of unit failures, and the solution was implemented on the multiple lines of products. So now I will end the today's session. Hope you understood what is the sensors and what is the actuators and how we can use these sensors and actuators in our real-time applications. Once again, thank you for all of you for listening and watching this video.